Okay, first off, I'll be perfectly honest. This was, I know the screen was messed up at the start of this. I didn't know at the time when I was streaming because in between rounds, a viewer asked me to go over some spoilers from Born of the Gods, and I had to change up my little stream situation to do that. So for the first little bit of the game, you'll see just the stream look a little weird. That being said, this is round 2 of a daily I played in. This will be the last game from that daily that is in this set, as the other 2 rounds are very unmemorable and not very interesting to watch. It'll only be about 10 minutes for 2 rounds, as I got crushed by some mid-range decks with Thought Seizes and just pretty terrible draws. But on to nicer notes, we are up against Pod. I can't really say that's a nicer note, as Pod's a pretty good deck that goes off quite consistently. He's got a pretty fast start, 2 birds and a voice. I mean, that's turn 2. And, although looking at what I have, I can't really complain. I got Ghost Quarters in hand and Flagstones out, so I'm actually quite happy. On top of a Ironworks and an Open the Vaults. All that it takes right now for me to go off is just getting that Ironworks into play. Once that happens, I'm pretty sure I win. I mean, that's just how really simple this deck is. I want to play decks like Pod that, I can go off before they go off. They can play a Pod and, maybe Pod to try and get a piece of their combo. But if they're not trying to disrupt me, I can go off pretty fast. Optimally, you generally want to go off turn 3 or 4. 3's pretty hard in this deck, as you need to basically, I think, have a Sculptor, a good 1-drop, and some luck. I think you have to have Chromatic Sphere, because you have to go turn 1 Sphere, turn 2 Sculptor, and actually you could play multiple Spheres. And then turn 3, of course, you'd have to go Ironworks and draw really well, but it is very possible. So, from here, my board position is actually great. I got some good stuff, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. I don't know what this little delay is for. I might be fixing the stream. Or I'm just waiting for Hive King, who, by the way, is a great player. If you ever have to play him on MTGO, he's a good match for you. And there we go. Everything is back to normal. You can see my beautiful hairy face again. Because, that's where I make the money. If you can't see that, then why are you even watching this video? I know that's what you came to see. So he finally decides whatever he wants to do, gets him for a little bit of damage, and then he drops his Pod, and Pods out his voice. So from here, he's trying to set up, and I gamble that he has some pretty good stuff in hand that he could probably just go off next turn. But unfortunately for him, we were on the play, so we're going to hit that turn 4 first, and we're going to, take it right to him. The only downside to this is I have to go straight into the Ironworks, so I can't do any shenanigans with the Flagstones and the Ghost Quarter. But in the end, that does not really matter too much. And my opponent actually did not have any idea what I was playing until that Ironworks came down. Once it came down, yeah, he knew what was going on. So the only goal we have right now is we need to reach 6 mana, and we need to filter 2 into white with 2 chromatic, or with a sphere, a prism, and a star. We'll achieve that easily. It's always nice being able to sack chromatic, star, put 2 colorless in, filter 1 through that, or through the prism, filter the other through the sphere, and then constantly just replay our 2 drops. Because, I mean, we can just cycle through everything in this deck, and it's one of the great things about it. and I'm fairly positive I don't mess up and not hit my Darksteel Citadel this time. Want to generate as much mana as humanly possible. Excuse me. And oh, come on, Ben. Oh, we did it. Good job, me. I think I've gotten quite good at piloting this deck. Before last week, I had no experience piloting eggs, and it's one that I've wanted to give a try for a while, because I'm a big fan of the sort of gold fishing decks that we really want to go deep with. So from here, I mean, it's honestly just business as usual. We are going to draw a bunch of cards, play a bunch of artifacts, and he's tapped out. He's not going to have an answer to any of this. We draw the one thing that we needed. There's only one card left in the deck that we actually needed, and that was the Faith's Reward. And from here, it's just about cycling and finding one of our win conditions. And I'm pretty sure Big Daddy Emrakul is going to be making his appearance on these videos for the first time in this match. As I remember doming him for 15 in one of our games. So we'll see what happens here shortly. But for now, I'm just going to be comboing off. Well, I guess I'll take this time while I'm just sort of flying through everything. If you enjoy these videos, just leave a comment in the just leave a comment in either the YouTube comment section or on MTG Madness. If you have a suggestion of something you'd like to see played, I am open to all sorts of zany ideas, as I've been playing for a long time and I just like playing fun things. It's what entertains me. I like playing weird decks, but sometimes I'll play things that are a bit more competitive. But the egg deck is actually, when you're drawing well, it's very good, because it goes off really fast, and a lot of decks don't have much to disrupt it before board. So, game one, you can generally pull out a win against a lot of decks consistently. I mean, as long as you don't draw bad, which is one of the big problems for the deck, but you know, you put things in here to minimize that, such as the Ghost Quarter and Flagstones, which allow us to try and cycle all our land out, because you're running 17 in here, so you hit 2 of those, that's, you know, you're already like 4 lands out, so you're pretty good in that regard. Yep, I draw my Emrakul, go straight into it, and take him down. What I will say for this, though, before, you're going to notice me grab my defense grid out of the board, and that was a mistake because I mistook it for Toper Orb, and it took me a bit to actually realize what I did. But overall, just some basic sideboarding. Generally, if I need to bring in sideboard options, I don't like cutting my eggs out, because I really just want those inconsistently. So I'll cut a reshape, one reshape and one lotus generally, to free up 2 spots, as I rather hit an egg in my opener or you know, one of my sideboard cards than a bloom, and I'd rather just have a reshape. I'd rather reshape into a lotus bloom. So yeah, as you can see, the defense grid, I'm so cool. But after that, I put in Toper Orb, and I put in the Leylines of Sanctity to protect against red cap. And yeah, we just go right into game 2. Thank you for watching. I'll see you then. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, because we're going to be chugging along for a bit.